Hey guys, you're back with Fishing with Bama, and I just wanted to show you how I Texas rig my U-tail worms, or Texas rig any of my worms, and also how I fish them and where I fish them. Okay, to start off, to Texas rig a worm, you'll need a bullet weight, doesn't matter what size. You'll need a hook, usually you want a worm hook, or like an offset hook, and then you need your worm. Okay, to start off rigging your worm, you'll need to place the bullet weight on the line. So you'll run the line through the tip of the bullet weight and out the bottom. There's a little hole in it that you put the line through, and you can choose to have the weight run freely, or you can tie a knot right in front of the weight so that it won't shift anywhere. Next, what I like to do is I like to take my worm hook and I go to the tip of the worm and shove the hook right through the tip until it meets the first bend in the hook, and then I push it right back out. And then what I like to do is I shove it all the way up past the shank, all the way to the eyelet, almost till it's covering it up, and then give it a full 180-degree turn, so that when you match the hook back up with the worm, should be right there. And make sure there's no extra slack in your worm. See, there was in mine, and now there isn't. I pushed it all the way back up. And then where the worm meets the end of your hook, on mine it's right here, right before this midsection, right there, the squishy part. You mark that point, and then what you do is you take the hook and shove it right through there. And now your worm is almost completely weedless. There's one last thing to do. As you can see, the hook's still sticking out. What you want to do is you want to take this worm, there should still be some slack, and shove it right back into the hook like this. And now your worm is completely weedless. See? You can do a test to make sure that your worm is weedless by rubbing your finger right across the hook. If it's not weedless, you're going to hook yourself. If it is, it should run smoothly right across there. And then of course you're going to have your bullet right here on the end. This is what your final product for your Texas rig worm should look like. The worm that I used for this example was a Lucky Strike U-tail worm that I got at Walmart. I got 50 of them for about $4. I got them in 4 different colors. And of course your line's going to be running that way. And what I like to do with these Texas rigged worms, keep in mind it's a real slow bait, so you have to work it very slowly. And what I like to do is just give it little twitches with my rod. And I try to make the movement as sporadic as possible. So I like to do like a 1-2 twitch, sometimes even a 1-2-3 real quick, not like a 1-2. And make sure when you twitch the worm to reel up your slack, because if you have too much slack in your line, you're minimizing the action in your worm. And also when you're trying to set that hook, it won't set as well. So always reel in the slack. The areas that I like to fish these Texas rigged worms are usually in shallower areas if you're fishing in ponds, but if you're in lakes you can go to more of the deeper areas. But if you see kind of a shallower area with a lot of structure, mainly weeds, I usually like to pitch it in there to get those lethargic bass, especially in the winter time, to come out, maybe attack that, because that way I'm not like having to make them come out of the weeds. I'm going right into their home so that they don't have to expend that much energy. And like when I'm in lakes, I do the same thing. But if you're fishing near structures such as wood, you might want to use something like a crankbait or a spoon. Worms don't work as well there just because I'm not sure why, but just through experience they haven't worked well near wood. And also sometimes they get snagged on wood a lot. So just stay near the weeds and I guarantee you'll catch fish. That's it for today's episode of Fishing Mid-Bama, and stay tuned for more videos.